Yeah, so this is really cool for me being here. It's an amazing part of my story. So I remember 12 years ago, like in 2002, I was a student here. I graduated from UCSB, and during that year, the middle part of that year, I had an encounter with Jesus. I remember most of my life, I grew up like as a Christian, but then I spent like a whole 7-8 years just running away from God from like once I got into high school into college, and like it was one foot in the world, one foot, like I know I should love God, and I had this amazing friend. I was here on an off-campus dorm, and I had this friend who was a believer, and she just like was relentless. She never gave up. She's always like, "Why don't you come to church with me? Why don't you come to church with me?" And I hadn't really been to church in years, and because when I walked in, I felt bad. I knew like the way I was living wasn't right. And one day she invited me in, and I walked in. It was the first time I got to church in like a lot of years, and I didn't even make it to the sermon. Like as soon as the worship started, I remember I cried like a baby for like hours. And I remember in that moment, I was like, "That's it, God. I'll go anywhere. I'll do anything. I'll say anything you want me to do." And so I've just been on this journey over the last, we're 12 years later, and it's really cool. And I remember when I graduated, I packed all my stuff up in my car. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. My parents were like, "Hey, you should go do YWAM. It's the perfect time before you go to grad school or before you go get a job," because I didn't know what I wanted to do. And so I was like, "Oh, I'll do this YWAM thing. That's it. I'm all in." And I remember thinking, like, I was so sad that I was leaving UCSB because, like, part of my heart was, like, broken for other kids who were like me, who were, like, so hungry for something, and they're just, but so broken. And I remember I was driving away, like, up the highway, and I remember looking back, and I remember I had tears in my eyes. I was like, "God, like, I would love to go back here someday and, like, just pour out the love of God on people who are just like me, like they're so ready." And so for me, it's such a blessing to be here tonight and to see the fruit of like what Jason and all these guys at Jesus Burgers have been doing for years, like pouring into the kids. And so I just feel super privileged to be here to join them. For me, it's a blessing because it's like an answer to my prayer from like 12 years ago. And so this is super amazing. I'm like a little kid like on Christmas. So yeah, I love what you guys are doing. This is awesome.